Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 34. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paribrajakachaja Stutara Sata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prince Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinatha Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 34. Tadvidhi pranipratena pariprashnena sevaya upadikshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadikshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshanaha Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadikshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha Tadvidi pranipratena pariprashnena sevaya Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. That knowledge of different sacrifices. Vidi, try to understand. Pranipatena, by approaching a spiritual master. Pariprashnena, by submissive inquiries. Sevaya, by rendering of service. Upadekshanti, initiate. Te, unto you. Jnanam, knowledge. Jnanina, the self-realized. Tattva, truth. Darshina, the seers. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Just strive to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Purport. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following the principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as it is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry argument cannot help one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from a learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. One should not only hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiry becomes perfect. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. This is one of the very, very important verses of the Bhagavad Gita. It stands to reason that one needs something, he has to go to someone who has it. So we need spiritual enlightenment, and we need to go to someone who is enlightened. An enlightened person can play the role of a spiritual master because he is able to drive away the darkness of ignorance in our heart. Therefore, in the Vedas it is said that Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Jnana Shalakaya Chaksurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. That by the mercy of the spiritual master, even though I was born in ignorance, by his mercy I am able to understand my spiritual identity. Now, a spiritual master cannot simply pretend he's a spiritual master. There are certain conditions. The first condition is that he must come in disciplic succession. Previously in this chapter, Krishna has explained how this knowledge was given by him to the sun god. And this knowledge is coming down in a chain of disciple, guru, guru, disciple. Imam vivasvate yogam proktavam aham avyayam. Krishna said that I have instructed this knowledge to Vivaswan. Evam parampara praptam. This knowledge is accepted in parampara or in disciplic succession. Sakalaneya mahata yoganashta parantapa. I am describing this knowledge to you, Arjuna, Krishna says, because by the influence of time, this knowledge has been broken. As we know, time is the destroyer of everything. So even spiritual knowledge, although it cannot be destroyed, it can be covered over by the activities of time over many, many, many years. Just like even though the sun cannot be covered, still the cloud covers our vision of the sun. So Krishna giving the knowledge to Arjuna indicates that Krishna is the original spiritual master. He is known as the Chaitya Guru, or the Guru within the heart. He is the first and most important spiritual master. Krishna and Balaram. When Krishna and Balaram were taken to Vrindavan, Balaram was transferred by the spiritual energy of Krishna, by Yogamaya, from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini, who was living in Vrindavan. And Krishna was brought to Vrindavan physically by Vasudeva. So the two boys were growing up in Vrindavan, and Vasudeva sent his guru, or his family spiritual master, Gargamuni Prabhu, to Vrindavan to perform the name-giving ceremony. So when Gargamuni initiated Balaram, he gave him three names: Balarama, Baladeva, and Sankarsana. He called him Balarama because he is very, very beautiful, and he is able to give pleasure to anyone who takes shelter of him. And Baladeva is that he is very, very powerful, and he is the original guru. Bala means spiritual strength. Guru means heavy. Guru means someone who cannot be deviated from the spiritual path. That is basically the main quality of guru. It's not so much knowledge, it's not so much any external symptoms, but the fact that he cannot be deviated from his understanding that he is the eternal servant of Krishna. That knowledge is so fixed, so strong within the heart of the Guru, that he is able to pass that on, that faith of his relationship with Krishna. He is able to pass that faith on to someone else. Just like an expert person is able to pass on his expertise to one who is less expert. So Balaram, and the third name Sankarshan. Sankarshan because he's able to attract everyone, and because Balaram was able to attract the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the devotees of Vrindavan, to their devotees of Dwarka, the Yadus. So in the Upadeshamrita, Rupa Goswami gives the qualifications of one of his guru. Vacha Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udara Upashta Vegam. That one who, Vega means urgings or pushing to do something. So Vacha Vegam, the impulse, the desire to speak. Manasa, the desire, the activity of the mind. Krodha, anger, the activity of the senses. Vacha Vegam, Manasa Krodha. Jiva Vegam, the tongue, tasting and speaking. Udara Upashta, the stomach and the genitals. These six urgings ought to be controlled if one is to understand he is a spiritual being and if one is to act as a spiritual guide. Etan Vegam yo upaheta diras sarvam apivam pritivim sasishyat. So one who is able to control the six urges perfectly is qualified to become a spiritual master. So there is another verse that Samit Panihi Shrotiyam Brahmanishtam. These are the qualities of a spiritual master. That Samit Panihi means is performing sacrifice. Shrotiyam, that he has heard the knowledge from the previous guru. And Brahmanishtam, as I said, the most important quality, that he is fixed in his faith and in his relationship with Krishna. There are 4 main lines of gurus coming down and given to us in Vedic knowledge. Now we stress Vedic knowledge which has been given in India because it is the only knowledge on the planet at this time which deals with spirituality. Practically any other spirituality, any other religion, whether it's Christianity or Hinduism, or even Hinduism, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, it is simply aimed at facilitating our material desires. But actually, spirituality means to understand our eternal relationship with God. So according to the Indian system, there are 4 schools of or Guru Parampara, or disciplic succession. One is coming from the 4 Kumaras, the sons of Lord Brahma. They have a disciplic succession. If you study the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see that the Kumaras again and again appear to instruct their disciples. And their main acharya or spiritual master was Nimbarka. The Nimbarka Sampradaya is active in the area near Vrindavan and in northern India. The second Guru Parampara is from Lord Shiva, the Rudra Sampradaya. And the Acharya is Vishnu Swami. And it is mainly active in northwestern India, especially in Gujarat. And it is being adopted by the Balabhacharya Sampradaya. And the fourth is the Ramanuja Sampradaya, which is divided into 2 sections. There is the Vadakalai and Tenkalai. The Vadakalai Ramanuja Sampradaya is active in Andhra Pradesh mainly. And their main temple is Tirupati Balaji, very beautiful temple, north of Madras in southern Andhra Pradesh. And in the south, the Tenkalai, their main temple is Srirangam, where Ramanujacharya, the Acharya of the Ramanuja Sampradaya, appeared. This Sampradaya is coming from Sri, or from Lakshmi. Very, very active, very, very powerful. I traveled many years in South India, and I have many friends in this Sampradaya, and they are very staunch, very powerful Vaishnavas. And the fourth Sampradaya, coming from Lord Brahma, is the Madhva Sampradaya, which our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we belong in that line. All these four Acharya, Madhva, Ramanuja, Nimbarka, and Vishnu Swami, came from South India. So the Madhva Sampradaya is also in South India. It is in the western part of South India, in Karnataka, and the headquarters is Tirupati. But Madhvacharya, when he was a very powerful preacher, some say is a partial incarnation of the god of air, Vayu, very strong, very powerful personality. He traveled throughout India. There are 4 points of reference in India. In the south, it is Rameshwaram. In the west, it is Dwarka. In the east, Jagannath Puri. And in the north, it is Badarik Ashram. So Madhvacharya, 2 times, I think, he went to Badarik Ashram, and he had darshan of Vyasadeva. And Vyasadeva initiated him into the Madhva Sampradaya. Madhvacharya established a very beautiful deity of Krishna, holding a stick to churn butter, in Udupi. And after his passing away, 8 mathas were established around this temple. And every 2 years, one of the maths, or one of the monasteries, takes charge of the Seva Puja of Krishna. So from these 8 maths, many acharyas came down, and the most important acharya in that line and in our line is Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri is considered a manifestation of the Kalpa Vriksha, of the desire tree from Goloka Vrindavan. He was a very advanced devotee, sannyasi. He traveled all over India. There's a very nice story if you want to read the story of Madhavendra Puri. It is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. One example, he came to Vrindavan and he was sitting under a tree chanting the holy name of Krishna in ecstasy, being in Vrindavan, and suddenly he was awakened, he was broken from his meditation. A little boy came up to him with a big pot of milk, and he said, "My dear Sadhu, the ladies nearby, they've seen you sitting here, so I have brought you some milk. Please tell me, what is your meditation and what is your bhajan, your type of worship?" And then the boy said, "In my village, nobody fasts, so you please take this milk." And then he gave him the pot of milk, and he said, "I will come back to pick up the pot later." And he went away. Because Madhavendra Puri's, one of his austerities, one of his vows was that he never asked for any food to anyone. If somebody brought him food, he would eat, otherwise he would fast. He would not beg. So anyhow, he finished the milk, and then he continued with his chanting, and then he dozed off, and in a dream, the same boy came to him and said, "Actually," says, "I am Gopal, I am Krishna. I've been watching you for a very long time, and I've been wondering, when will Madhavendra Puri come here in Vrindavan to see me? Now you have arrived. I must tell you that I am sitting inside the bushes, inside the jungle nearby. I've been hidden there by my pujari when the Muslims were attacking Braj. So I've been sitting hidden away in this bush for a very long time, and I'm very uncomfortable. It is hot in summer, cold in winter. I'm not getting any proper food. I'm not getting any attention. So you please take me out of these bushes and again install me in my temple and worship me." So Madhavendra Puri woke up and he realized, he said, "Krishna came to me with a pot of milk and I didn't recognize him." He was lamenting like that. Anyhow, he broke up the pot into small pieces and he put it in a cloth, and every day he would eat a little piece of that pot. Anyhow, he called the villagers and he said, "Come, Gopal is sitting in the jungle, let us take him out and put him on top of Govardhan hill and worship him." So they dug through the undergrowth, they cut away all the plants, and indeed they found Gopal with his left hand, and they put him on top of the hill and they worshipped him. But all the villagers came in turns, bringing all kinds of food. They placed him on a stone, and a stone at the back, and eventually the local zamindars, the local Kshatriyas, they built a temple for him, and Madhavendra Puri initiated the local Brahmanas how to worship him, and in this way Gopal was established on top of Govardhan Hill. That same Gopal has now gone to Gujarat, on the border of Rajasthan and Gujarat, and he's called Sri Nathji. He's black, standing with his left hand up, holding the hill, and very opulent temple. You can always, very nice place to visit. So Madhavendra Puri came in the line of Madhvacharya, and he initiated one disciple. His name was Ishvara Puri, and Ishvara Puri initiated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Gaya, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then initiated the 6 Goswamis, then Krishnadas Kaviraj, and then Narottam Das, Srinivasacharya, coming down to Jagannath Das, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gorkishore Babaji, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is the 33rd in line. So this is our Sampradaya coming from the Madhva Acharya. But as I pointed out at the beginning of this lecture, there are many types of guru. The most important guru is Krishna, is the Chaitya Guru. Through him only are we guided in spiritual life. Indeed, he says in the Bhagavad Gita, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. I give my devotee buddhi yoga, or linking intelligence. Intelligence they can link to me. Yena mam upayantite, so they can reach me. Why? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajate pritipurvakam. To one who worshipped me with great devotion. So this is the Chaitya Guru. When you turn towards Krishna within your heart, then Krishna makes arrangement to train you externally. One of these arrangements is the Vartma Pradarshaka Guru, or the Guru who shows the way. You may meet some devotees and they will teach you, this is the path to go. Then you have your Diksha Guru, or the Guru who gives you initiation. And then you have your Siksha Guru, or the Guru who instructs you. Factually speaking, our Sampradaya, the Gaudiya Madhva Sampradaya, is basically a Siksha Sampradaya. It is very important to get instruction from someone who is connected with Krishna. We know that Krishna is very, very difficult to reach. Look around you in the world, there is hardly any Krishna devotees. There is hardly any pure devotees of God on this planet. Even if they make some show of religion, it is simply to take and take and take, to make God the order supplier. But sincere, if Krishna sees your sincerity, then he sends you someone who can give Krishna to you. So Krishna is difficult to reach, but Krishna is the property of his devotees. In many, many places, even Lord Chaitanya has said that my body belongs to you, to the devotees. Krishna's body belongs to the gopis, belongs to Nanda Maharaj, to Yashoda, belongs to his friends, Sridama, Sudama, to his servants. And those devotees who have Krishna are able to give Krishna to you. Therefore, it is very important that you pray to Krishna in the heart to send you a guru who is able to give you Krishna. So in my experience, Srila Prabhupada is such a person. And he made sure during his life, his short time with us, only 10 years, he left so many instructions for us. He left his books, he left his lectures, his letters, his conversation. For example, I just inherited some books from a friend, 37 volumes of Prabhupada conversations, 37 volumes. And I'm enjoying reading them because it is like sitting with Prabhupada, listening to him speak. So, Prabhupada, I can say without any doubt that he is able to give you Krishna. So pray to Krishna within your heart, very humbly, but dear Krishna, please instruct me, please let me understand Srila Prabhupada's mission, let me understand Srila Prabhupada's instructions, so that Prabhupada may be pleased with me and give me Krishna. Thank you very much. So we have some people who have commented. Mandi Prior, Hare Krishna, and Atmavidya, humble obeisance, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and to the audience, Vrishnivansa, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the Kalpa Vriksha trees and Madhavendra Puri. Albert de Vos, next lecture on Chaitya Guru, so important. Yes, Chaitya Guru is, everything hinges around Krishna in the heart. He is monitoring everything we do. There is a name of Krishna, I forget it in Sanskrit, means one who doesn't blink. He doesn't miss a beat. He doesn't go to sleep. He sits with us in our heart, night and day, always ready for us to turn our face again towards him. Such a friendly personality, such a good friend. He never gives us up. So it begins there, and the whole key, it's not a question of who is Guru. It's a question of what is Guru. And that answer comes from within the heart. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. See you next Wednesday.